What is up, guys? It's Verns back here again with another Supercoach video. Look, today it's going to be nice and quick. Me and Boz just dropped the NBA podcast, and we go through a lot of information there. Boz obviously being way more of an expert than me. This is really just a bit of a team update, how I'm going. I'll be honest, in a bit of a rush today as well. Busy day tomorrow, and gotta get things sorted. So we will just quickly go through it. I scored a 919, went up 2,190 places, and sitting at 1,888. Honestly, not a bad week. The team grew in $8 million in value. I'm pretty happy with it overall. My weekly rank was actually roughly the same, but it just shows that maybe a lot of people hadn't pre-planned their starting schedule, and as much as my rank was roughly the same, those that maybe had a good early rank didn't have those 4-game weeks for the 4-game week players for the round 2, and they might have fallen back a bit. So look, overall I'm happy with where the team is, and I think we're heading in the right direction. But this is a huge week, and I'm just not too sure where to go here. So with this is how my team stacked up. At the end of the day, we ran Shea as captain. He was the highest scoring player on my team, which was awesome. We ended up pivoting to Reeves at the last second over Adams, which worked out kind of well. Adams only scored like a 40, and Siakam also didn't have a great week, where Reeves had a really good week instead. So I was really glad I got him on field. It also meant that I could put Conward on field instead of holding him on my bench. So we got his 66 there. So he outperformed Adams by a good 20. Reeves performed Siakam by a good 50. Earned a lot of points. I think we earned more money this week. It just ended up being a better play, so that was great. Unexpectedly, Doncic ended up coming back, which ruined Reeves' start to the round. He was crushing it early, and then Doncic comes back and he has 2 slower games. I think he's on 68 in these first 2 games, so an average of 39, and then he has like a 20 and a 25 to finish. Not quite a 25, actually 20 and a 24, which sucks. And I think because of that, it kind of makes him a trade, because he ends up a bit of a yo-yo. And for those that haven't played these weekly formats before, it's fine to yo-yo players in and out. We have unlimited trades, so we can do that with players. But I think he ends up a yo-yo where he came in, he scored well, he earned some money, but then his break even still pretty low for a 3-game week, 84. But if he follows that up with 3 20-game weeks, which is what he did when Doncic was back, he's not going to make any money. He's not going to score that well. It's just, I think, not ideal. But yeah, overall, I think the rookies on field are great. I was really happy with Edgecombe, Mitchell, Coward, and then, Flag, unfortunately, a bit underperforming. Williams ends up going bonkers because, obviously, Chet is out. That would have been great to have Williams on field. And, last week I fielded him and he let me down. This week I benched him and he went bananas. So, a bit unfortunate with that. A bit of a yin-yang in the wrong way. Obviously, Giannis mixed a week, so anyone that went Giannis sucked. That really sucked. And then Wemby, who had 2 massive games, really got shut down by Miami. They gave him so much physical attention and really didn't let him play his game. His shooting was off. He was missing the open threes that he's been previously scoring, so that kind of sucked. Still a good score. I'm still happy overall. But it is one of those things where, if you told me Wemby was going to get 100 in his 3-game week, I would have sat there and been like, oh, okay, well, I don't have to get him in then. I brought him in with the consensus he was going to do what he did sort of last week, where he dropped 155. I thought if he's scoring 130, averaging 40 plus, he's a must-have. He's still averaging that 40 plus. It just sucks that he really got shut down by Miami. He only scored 14. But, such is life. It unfortunately does mean I'm in a position where I don't know if I can get Jokic this week, and if I didn't get Wemby last week, I might have been able to get him. So I think I set myself up to fail here. There's a lot of really good rookies out there. Me and Boz go through it in the podcast. But yeah, I think this is very obvious for me. White has sucked. White ended up being a really bad pick, which is unfortunate because I was on Brown. I wasn't really on White to start. And then people kind of convinced me on White, and then people kind of convinced me that Brown maybe wasn't the play. And look, to be fair, I was going off the information getting fed to me. I didn't really know these players, so I can't be upset because the only reason I had Brown in there to begin with was because someone recommended him to me. And then when it gets recommended to also get White by that person, I don't think they were wrong. It just didn't pan out. 14.5 average is a dreadful, and he needs to go ASAP. He's averaging the least on my field, less than any of my rookies, and they're all worth 6K. He needs to go. He is awful. I know he's a 4-game week, but no, we just can't trust that. He's going to lose so much money if he keeps performing at this level. Yeah, he loses 700K off a 60 this week, and 60 is way more than what he scored. So, yeah, he's definitely going. And then it becomes a bit hard for me, just because Money-wise, I think Reeves is the one that goes. Everyone else is on like a 4-game week, which is really, really nice for my team. I think my team's going to go really well, except for Wemby, of course, in the 4-game week. But I'm expecting a big week. I think Reeves goes out. I'm not really got the faith in him anymore. And then we still have another trade that we can play around with. But what I want to do is I do want to focus on these break-evens. Because Reeves is out, we have the flex available, so we can see everyone available. Kalkbrenner, almost a must-have rookie. I mean, this is kind of a positive if I don't go for Jokic, because, you know, hypothetically, let's say I go for Jokic right now. If I just jump back to, yeah, those stats, here we go. No, I'm there. If I want Jokic into my team, it's like, boom. Now I have 1 million for a rookie. I can't afford a rookie for that, meaning I'm going to have to downgrade someone else, and it can't be one of these rookies. I need more money than what they're offering. I have to downgrade another premium, like a Butler, just to get Jokic in, and then split Butler into 2 rookies as well. So 3 rookies for 1 premium. That ain't it. That ain't it. Sorry, 3 premiums for 1 premium. Like, nah, that ain't it. So I think the nice thing about this is, as much as I end up fading him, end up fading Jokic, which could be super painful, is that I can get, let's get him out of there, I can get Kalkbrenner into this flex spot, which we've already, come on, leave, Jokic, get out. Leave me alone, Jokic, I don't want you. Who has an insane break-even. He's been really, really good, being the main center for Charlotte. And the thing was that we were scared with Charlotte is that they were going to, unfortunately, be in a position where they were going to rotate their bigs, and we weren't sure if Kalkbrenner was going to get that as much as we were high on him. Boz was really high on him. We just decided against it. So I could bring in Kalkbrenner. He only has a 2-game week, though, so then I have to put him on the bench, saying that Landale has a 4-game week. Do I trust Landale on the field? I don't know. He scored a 76, which was great, but I just don't know if I trust that. But, you know, it might be the decision to make, because the amount of money we're going to make off them would be insane. And then in a couple of weeks, I can maybe ditch Landale, get Kalkbrenner up to that center spot, and things just work a bit better. Now, the other guys that are obviously obvious too, Rollins is almost a must-have in my opinion. I have to get on him. And Minot's been really good as well. Now, I want to get Ace Bailey out of my team, so I think if we go Ace Bailey out, we can get Minot into that position. He fell there. There we go. So that's nice. That's just a good sideways. Like, yes, it costs us 300k, but now we're getting in a rookie that's actually playing, performing well, and scoring well, which I love. So that's really good. We have the flexibility with a few of these guys too, where we can rotate edge come up like this, and we can get Rollins in easy. He just went straight to the spot. Perfect. That's where I wanted him. And then we get the flex position where I can get in any sort of rookie I want. Saying that, I don't actually have to get a rookie. I now have 22 mil. I can still get a top tier premium. And we kind of talked about these top tier premiums, me and Boz. And some of the people we talked about, I actually was very interested in starting this guy. And then I didn't, because the fixture changed. I'm thinking Sabonis, personally. I am thinking Sabonis. But yes, we have Dallas and Sacramento. Personally, right now, at this kind of money, I would prefer to get AD. But AD obviously pulled up injured, so can't pick that. Also, I don't actually want to see their projected scores. That's not good. We don't want that. I'd much rather see the average. So, yeah, when I look at the averages, obviously Sabonis is the clear pick here. He had 3 games this week. 83 is fine. Hopefully he can get close to the 110. That's fine. That'll be good. Score decently enough. I think he's priced perfectly fine. Break even. Maybe he loses a little bit of money. It could happen, but I think that's sort of the play I want to be looking at, potentially Sabonis. The only other guys we're looking at is, so we still have guys with like the 2 game weeks in a row. So the thing is with Sabonis, Sabonis falls into a 2-game week in a row. The guys with the 3-game weeks was Clippers. That was the other team. Sorry, not Sabonis's team. But I don't know if I'm in love with Leonard or Harden at all. Like, I'm not really in love with the Clippers team, I gotta be honest. So I kind of don't even want to count them. When I look at Dallas, it's only really AD, and I just don't know if he's going to be playing. He's meant to be injured. If I hear news before Dallas' game tomorrow that AD is actually playing, I might make the move for him, saying that AD is one of those guys that traditionally always seems to get injured or have niggles and miss games, and I don't know if I want to put myself in that position where, hey, I might bring him in because he's got this insane stretch of 12 games in the next 3 weeks, and then he ends up playing 10 You know, like that just seems counterintuitive. So I'm a little bit scared in that sense. Saying that, I think Sabonis does also kind of fall into that category. So am I really getting anything better? So we have obviously Golden State, but I don't know if there's anyone from Golden State. It's really only Curry, who I think I've got the best player there already in Butler, so I think I'll lock him in. Jumping on down, we also have Milwaukee, which it was nuts from Giannis so far, but I think outside of Giannis, we're not interested in anyone outside of Rollins because he's going to make a lot of money as well as what he's been scoring, which has been nuts. Moving down this list, I'm not seeing any other teams with a 2-2 fixture except for Sacramento. And I think that's why Sabonis kind of intrigues me the most. I think I can also look at flipping Sabonis as well in future, up to Jokic. Jokic has 4, then 3, then 4. So hopefully he doesn't change too much in price. I'd prefer if Jokic could lose some money. That would be great. Maybe I can flip Sabonis to him after he has these 2-4. So I get one extra game from Sabonis than I do over Jokic, and then I flip him to Jokic, and things hopefully work out that way. So that's kind of what I'm thinking with this team. The other way I could do it is I could actually hold on to like a Reeves and then maybe fix up another rookie, get in another rookie that's going to make money. As I mentioned, I could bring in Kalkbrenner instead, which isn't a bad play. I mean, that's the thing. Rather than Minot, I could bring a guy into this small forward line. And then I can get Kalkbrenner in the flex and run Landale on field, which I think maybe that's a smarter move. That's maybe a smarter move here. I think I got distracted thinking I need a center. But once again, when I look at the fixture, there's just nobody really stood out to me as a small forward. We do have the guys maybe I could yo-yo for a week, just bring them in, put them back out next week. Just guys with singles. But when I look at these single game lineups, nobody's jumping out to me either. Houston, could I get a KD in here? Would that be a little bit wild to bring a KD in for 1 week? And then next week he needs to go out. And then we want Pelicans players after that. Do I yo-yo a KD instead? Let's try and work this. If Minot goes out as well. Sorry guys, I'm definitely working this on the fly, as you can tell. I think Sabonis is probably the most likely answer. You've also, had Sengun, who's been like insanely good. I've really loved what he's done so far. So he could be an obvious option. KD's not too much lower. Yeah, KD's been alright. But maybe just go Sengun. I've been really happy with how he's been performing. For a Houston's yo-yo. Yeah, I could go for a Houston's yo-yo with this. Sorry, I want to pivot these guys around. Nope. Flag, get out of there. Ugh. Okay, what if I do this? So Sengun comes in. Now you can pivot Flag. Now you can pivot Sengun. And then I can get Kalkbrenner in there. And that might be a better play. Alright, well, they will be the things I toss up. Those two options. I'm going to quickly lock this in, at least for now. Kalkbrenner. And the other option we sort of saw, it was Minot with Sabonis instead. So, that's sort of how I'm leaving. It leaves a lot of money in the bank, which then hopefully allows me to easily get to Jokic next time. But let's just lock this in for now. So let's just complete the trades. Now, obviously, captains, I think it's Giannis. I know he missed a game this week, which sucked, but hopefully it means he won't miss a game going forward. He performed very well when he came back, so I was happy with that. VC is an irrelevant thing, so let's just throw it on Kalkbrenner. As I mentioned, the only problem with this is I have to run Kalkbrenner. I have to run Landale, but if he ends up being the lowest scoring player, he falls out. If he actually performs, then that's fine. I mean, he has a 4-game week, so hopefully he can. That means everyone on my team's got a 4-game week except for Wemby. That feels pretty good. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Super quick video, super quick team update. As I said, I'll either stick with this or I'll go the Sabonis route. This is probably better for the cash gen, and I guess I do want to play. If I'm missing... If I am missing Jokic, I probably want to play towards the cash gen. If Sengun ends up scoring as much as Sabonis, but I end up with a better cash gen maker in Kalkbrenner, it's probably more worthwhile to make this play. So that's probably what I will do. But yeah, anyway, till next time, guys, I appreciate all those that have tuned in, that have liked and subscribed for the consistent injections of Supercoach content directly into the YouTube feed. Till next time, peace later.